What's good, Tech family? Urban Tech Reviews, and today on the channel I'll be reviewing the PlayStation Portal. Let's check it out. Before we start this review, let's get this out the way real quick. You need a PlayStation 5 console to use a PlayStation Portal. So if you don't have a PS5 console, don't buy the Portal. It needs Wi-Fi and it's not a console. It's a streaming device. Now that we got that out the way, let's get into this review. This is me setting up the Portal. It took a few minutes to actually set up and update everything and, to get it started and everything. So I would say about 20 to 25 minutes, maybe even 30 minutes to get everything going. It seemed to boot up right quick. My gaming experience wasn't always great, especially the first time I played my PlayStation Portal. The first time I hooked it up, it was a major disappointment because I felt damn near impossible to play. The lag was crazy. I was honestly about to return it. The second day though, I started to see a little light at the end of the tunnel. I don't know what happened, but the gameplay was a little bit more solid and less laggy. Now, what really changed my gameplay experience was when I connected an Ethernet cable into my PS5. The gameplay was a night and day difference. So if you have the ability to connect the Ethernet cable to your PS5, I would 100% recommend it. I would say that my internet is pretty good, not the best, but way far from the worst Wi-Fi. Also, I have a shit ton of devices connected to my internet, 5 PS5s, 4 PCs, about 6 cell phones, 5 tablets, 6 Apple Watches, 10 TVs, 2 PlayStation Portals, and a bunch of other devices that I can't even think of right now, and 4 floors of Wi-Fi to keep everything connected. The screen being 1080p is great for indoor use, but when you take it outside, it's definitely a lot harder to see the screen. Even with the use of a screen protector, it won't help to see the screen. I was in a tattoo shop playing my Portal and the screen was so hard to see, I had to sit another way just so I can adjust it to play. Without being in direct sunlight, the screen is pretty good and easy to view while gaming. Playing in my basement is definitely where I see the most trouble in my house. The connection was so bad, it kept taking me to the home screen and telling me I lost connection again. My console was 2 levels above me, 2 floors above me, so maybe that's why the connection was so bad. Hand feel was like holding a smaller PS5 controller. It's a very similar feeling, so gaming won't be different from playing your PS5 console. The handles and the R3 and L3 sticks are a little smaller than the normal PS5 controller, but like I said, it's a familiar feeling. Reaching all the buttons felt normal. I didn't feel like my fingers couldn't reach certain buttons and like they had odd placement or something on the controller. The Portal does weigh 1.15 pounds, so you'll have to manage that weight in while gaming. For some of your frail people, that might be a challenge, but to me, it wasn't a major issue. So no Bluetooth, as Sony hasn't allowed users to connect a non-Bluetooth device to its console in years. This is a major letdown for a lot of gamers, but it fits right into Sony's ecosystem. Sony took a step further and made it to where you can't even use other Sony Bluetooth headphones to pair with your Portal. Meaning that if you want to use earbuds, you'll have to use the PlayStation Explorer earbuds. And if you want to use over-the-air headphones, then you'll have to get the PlayStation Pulse headset, as currently they're the only 2 devices with Sony Link technology. You do always have the option to go wired and connect a pair of wired headphones through a 3.5mm port located at the bottom of your Portal. The Portal uses Wi-Fi to connect to your PS5 console. The optimal way to use your Portal is using it wherever your PS5 console is on the same network. That's not saying that you can't use it on a different network, but the connection may not be as strong. Matter of fact, it won't be as strong as it would being on your home network. It is recommended to have a strong network. You can play games that are on your PS5 storage and it will work without any issues. Some of the features of the PlayStation Portal is it has 60 frames per second at 1080p, a touchscreen, an 8-inch display screen. You can play your PS5 game collection, and it has DualSense controller features. I honestly think that the PlayStation Portal is more of a want device rather than a need device. Meaning that I don't know many people that need this. It's more of a convenience thing. I want to be able to help my wife cook sometimes and still be able to play my PS5 at the same time. So this makes that possible. Is it always the best gaming experience or just like playing from an actual console? No. 100% playing from the console is better than playing on the Portal. Meaning that I would rather, sit there and use my console, but the convenience of being able to use my Portal in any room in my house or even when I'm not at home just makes this thing a convenience factor that I really like. My PS5 is in my bedroom, so having a Portal allows me to play in my dining room, it allows me to play in the kitchen, it allows me to play in the living room, allows me to play in the foyer, the basement, and my favorite location, while I'm taking a shit. The Portal is a streaming device, meaning you stream games from your PS5 console to your Portal device. You cannot download games to the Portal. You can't play physical games on the Portal. It only mirrors what's being played from your PS5 console. There is no streaming other than streaming games on the Portal. No Netflix, no Prime Video, no Hulu, or even Spotify, as this is a device only for streaming PS5 games. Hopefully Sony sends out an update to fix that, because to me it makes no sense that you can use other streaming apps on your Portal. You can see them on there, but you can't use them. The battery life is solid. I was able to game for about 6 hours on one charge. Changing a few settings might get you a few more hours or maybe some minutes on the Portal. I like mine to run at full volume most of the time with the haptics fully up and the brightness fully turned up too. I didn't time how long it took to charge the Portal from 0%. I would usually just sit it on the charge and come back a few hours later or even the next day and it was fully charged. Speakers are pretty loud and a lot better than I initially thought they would be. They sound decent and your audio is clear for the most part. People say that the speakers sound tinny, and I can see where they're coming from. The only knock that I have on the speakers is the placement of them. I'd rather them be front-facing speakers, therefore the audio is right in your face instead of on the top of the Portal. Not a deal breaker, but just bad placement in my opinion. My final thoughts about the PlayStation Portal is that it's a dope device if you want to use it for what it's meant for. Streaming. All right, streaming is what the PlayStation Portal is made for. Nothing more, nothing less. If you expected anything else, then I guess you'll probably be disappointed. There's some things that I like about the Portal, and there's some things that I don't like about the Portal. The fact that my PlayStation 5 has to be on in order for me to play the Portal just doesn't make sense to me. That just seems like a design flaw to me. One of the dumbest things that I think about this about the Portal is that it has to be on the whole time while I'm gaming. Not just like in rest mode on, but on, like literally on. So when you think about it and what the Portal does, it's literally mirroring your PlayStation console, your PlayStation 5 console. So if you were in the same room, you can literally play on your Portal and watch it on the same screen that your HDMI is connected to your PS5 on. So you can't, I originally thought that I'd be able to play this, my Portal, while my PlayStation was in rest mode. But no, you can't play it while it's in rest mode. You can only turn it on while it's in rest mode. And then the Portal will just stream and mirror what's actually playing on your PS5 console. The existence or non-existence of Bluetooth on this device is just another ploy for Sony to buy their products. And is it a deal breaker? No. But is it annoying as hell? Absolutely. It doesn't make sense to have this device and not be able to connect any Bluetooth headset for it. I keep my AirPod Pros with me all the time. I want to be able to connect my AirPod Pros to my PlayStation Portal and just listen to it. Instead, I gotta buy the Pulse or whatever the earbuds or Sony earbuds. I have to buy those. Not only do I have to buy those, I have to connect the dongle to my PlayStation and keep the dongle in there to be able to use that, to be able to use the earbuds. Or if, you know, walk around with the over-the-air Elites and stuff like that. It's a money grab, seems like to me, that they would do that to just force you to have to buy those 2 ear sets if you wanted to actually use something. And you can always, you know, go wired or something like that, but who wants to use a wire? You know, just something that gets in the way, gets tangled up, and possibly pulls your Portal out of your hand or drops it, or you got a baby or something and they grab it or something. It's just an extra wire that you don't need. Battery life on here is great, getting about 6 hours, you know, give or take a few hours or so. To be able to game on this is a plus, especially not having to be tethered to the front of my console. So battery life is definitely a plus to me. The screen on here is it's a nice screen. It's not an OLED. I'm not gonna bitch about it, you know, not being an OLED, because, you know, OLED, better technology, will give you better darks, colors and stuff on your screen, maybe better viewing angles when you're out in the light and out and about and stuff like that. Okay, but that might dig into your price point. You know, at 200 bucks, OLED screen might, you know, raise the price 100 bucks, 50 bucks, 100 bucks. Is this a $300 device to me? No, because you can almost get a PlayStation 5 console for, you know, what, 100 more bucks or something like that. So the way it's priced, I'm good with it. Being that it don't have an OLED, I'm still good with that, because, you know, if it's an OLED, if you get the OLED at $200 price point, I'm good with that. That's just great. But I doubt that they'd be able to put an OLED in here and you still get it for the same price point. But, you know, the screen is not bad in my opinion. Something else I thought to tell you guys is that if you buy physical games for your PS5, then you won't be able to use those games on your Portal unless that actual disc is inside of your PlayStation 5 console. You can only play what's physically downloaded on your console, so that's the games that you have downloaded on there that you bought digitally, or the actual physical game that's in your console. So think about that. If you buy physical games, that you're actually gonna have to swap the game out of your console when you actually want to play it on your Portal. So do I think that the PlayStation Portal is worth 200 bucks? Is it worth the money? And I would say absolutely. For me, it's a convenience thing. I like to be able to use it, you know, when my wife is cooking and I'm at work sometimes, when I'm in the tattoo shop, you know, getting tatted or something like that. If I'm in the basement, my PS5's on a different level. People with bigger houses, I think this could be something with you, even though people with, you know, living in apartments, you know, bigger apartments or just a small apartment. If your PlayStation console is in a different room and you don't want to have to be sitting in front of your console all the time, you can whip this out in your apartment or your crib or wherever you is and play it. So it's the ultimate convenience device. Do I think that the PlayStation Portal is for everybody? No, not everything is for everybody. For somebody like me, I believe that this is great. It's a good tool to be able to use, a good device to be able to use on the run. I know what I got. I know what I was getting into somewhat. To somebody who's just out and about and they just buy this thinking that it's going to replace your PS5, you crazy. It's not going to do that. It's not built to do that. It's just a streaming device that mirrors your PS5. I know I've said that a lot this review, but I need to, you know, to just get that in your head that this is not a console. It's a streaming device. All right. But it's Urban Tech Reviews. If you enjoyed this video or you felt like you learned something from this video, let me know by clicking the thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to the channel, you can do that by clicking on my icon on the bottom right hand corner of your screen. If you're not following me on all social media sites, all that information is in the description. And as always, Tech Family, stay blessed. We out.